Valley News team Zoe Jones is there with the latest. Zoe.
Justin, I'm out at the scene right now, and if you were driving by today, you have no idea that this was such a hectic scene yesterday, and now there's just such a somber tone to this entire road. Everything's been cleared up. You would have no idea that that 23-year-old officer lost his life yesterday. Police say this man, 31-year-old Spencer Moen, was arrested around 7:30 this morning for murder. When we did some research, we found an assault case that Spencer Moen was involved in back in 2019. Imagine coming home one day right before the holiday weekend and finding out that you have to vacate your home in less than a week. Unfortunately, for the residents at Red Pine Apartments, that was their reality last Friday. Governor Burgum entered the 2016 race for governor as a political newcomer, and this would be a very similar uphill battle. On the Republican side, he will be facing off in the primary with former President Donald Trump, who is the Republican frontrunner with between 50 and 70% of the preference in recent polls. Well, devastation has swept across the region of Maui, leaving over 80 dead and very heavy damage. The effects are even now starting to be felt as far as right here in North Dakota. Justin, Stacy, today's release of the body camera footage added new insights to just how intense the shooting was on July 14th. This right here is the scene where it all took place. Now, looking at this is Mohammed Barakat, the shooter's vehicle. Over here on 25th Street is where we saw Officer Zach Robinson when the gunfire began. This was Carly Coswick's vehicle, the one who was involved in the crash that the officers were attending to. It may not look like it in our area because of snow piles like this one, but it is technically spring, which means eventually the temperatures will begin to rise, the snow piles will melt down, and in turn will lead to flooding season. The sheriff identified the victims as a 52-year-old woman who was shot in her car 11 times, a 19-year-old male Dollar General employee, and a 29-year-old male who was shot as he entered the store. The first thing you want to do when you get home from a nice vacation is go home and relax. The last thing you want to do is have to dig your car out from a pile of snow like this. A criminal complaint filed in Winona County Wednesday details the evidence prosecutors will lean on to try to prove their case against Adam Fravel, who is now charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder in the death of his ex-partner, Madeline Kingsbury. Today, for the first time, we finally got to put a face to the man behind July 14th's vicious attack. This is 37-year-old Mohammed Barakat. In the press conference on Wednesday, this photo was released showing what they found inside of his car: multiple guns, vests, knives, and 1,800 live rounds of ammunition. At today's press conference, we received new details and new photos about what else they found, including 3 containers filled with gasoline and 2 propane tanks filled with homemade explosives, as well as a homemade grenade. I'm out here right now. As you can see behind me, things have quieted down just a little bit, but we are still seeing that crews are actively on the scene. They're still trying to make sure that everything is okay out here. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum is on the presidential campaign trail in Iowa, where he's hoping his emphasis on small town values will connect with voters. What they're doing today is they're just trying to raise awareness. They're just trying to share their opinion. They're wanting city officials to kind of hear a little bit more about it, and they're wanting legislators to know that they're not just going to sit down. Like they said themselves, they're fed up, they're fired up, and they're ready to get some action for this community.
Record-breaking winter, record-breaking summer.
We don't need that.
How else would we?
We don't need both of those. Let's just be clear.
Thank you, Shelby.
In Fargo. Do you need a hug?
Yeah.
Zoe Jones, Valley News Live.